Have you ever found yourself confused about when spring actually begins? Maybe you've heard someone confidently declare that spring starts on March 1st, while someone else insists it doesn't arrive until later in the month. This isn't just a quirky difference in opinion, it's a fascinating example of how our understanding of the seasons can be shaped by science, tradition, and even the way we keep track of time. The reason for this confusion is that there are actually two official ways to mark the start of spring, and both are widely used around the world. So, if you've ever wondered why your calendar says one thing but the news says another, you're not alone. These two definitions aren't mistakes or misunderstandings. They're simply different perspectives on the same season. One is rooted in the rhythms of weather and climate, while the other is tied to the grand movements of our planet through space. The first way to define spring is called meteorological spring. This method is all about simplicity and consistency. Meteorologists, who study the weather, divide the year into 4 neat 3-month blocks based on average temperatures and climate patterns. For them, spring always begins on March 1st and ends on May 31st, making it easy to compare weather data from year to year. The second way is called astronomical spring. This approach looks to the sky, marking the start of spring by the position of Earth in its orbit around the sun. Astronomical spring begins on the vernal equinox, which usually falls around March 20th or 21st, when day and night are nearly the same length everywhere on Earth. Both definitions are correct. They just come from different ways of observing and measuring the world around us. Meteorological spring is practical and predictable, while astronomical spring connects us to the cosmic dance of our planet. Meteorological spring is especially useful for scientists and farmers who rely on consistent dates to track weather trends, plan crops, and study climate change. It's always March through May, no matter what the sky is doing. Astronomical spring, on the other hand, is celebrated by many cultures as a time of renewal and balance. The vernal equinox has inspired festivals, rituals, and traditions for thousands of years, marking the moment when the world seems perfectly poised between light and dark. So, as of March 2nd, 2026, we find ourselves in a unique overlap. Meteorological spring has officially begun, bringing warmer days and the first signs of new growth. But according to the stars, astronomical spring is still a couple of weeks away, waiting for that special moment when day and night stand in perfect balance. This isn't a battle of right or wrong, it's a wonderful reminder that science can offer us multiple ways to understand the same phenomenon. Whether you follow the calendar or look to the sky, both perspectives enrich our appreciation of the changing seasons. Even something as universal as spring can be seen through many different lenses, scientific, cultural, and personal, reminding us that there's always more than one way to experience the world's natural wonders. Let's talk about meteorological spring, the unsung hero and favorite season of weather scientists everywhere. While most people think of spring as a time for flowers and warmer days, for meteorologists, it's a crucial period that helps them make sense of the ever-changing atmosphere. Meteorological spring isn't just a poetic idea, it's a practical tool that brings order to the chaos of weather patterns. Unlike astronomical spring, which can shift by a day or two each year, meteorological spring always starts on March 1st and ends on May 31st in the northern hemisphere. This fixed schedule is a breath of fresh air for anyone who works with weather data. There's no need for complicated calculations or waiting for the equinox. Just 3 tidy months, March, April, and May. This simplicity is what makes meteorological spring so appealing to scientists and forecasters alike. By dividing the year into 4 equal seasons, each lasting exactly 3 months, meteorologists can easily compare weather data from year to year. This method creates a level playing field for analyzing long-term climate trends and seasonal changes. Meteorological summer follows from June through August, autumn runs from September through November, and winter covers December through February. Each season is neatly packaged, making it easy to organize and interpret weather records. This consistency is absolutely crucial for tracking climate trends, studying weather extremes, and making accurate forecasts. When scientists know exactly when each season begins and ends, they can spot patterns and anomalies with much greater confidence. Imagine trying to compare rainfall or temperature data if spring was a different length every year. Messy, right? The data would be all over the place, making it nearly impossible to draw meaningful conclusions about how our climate is changing. Meteorological seasons solve that problem. By sticking to a fixed calendar, scientists can analyze decades of data with confidence, knowing that each year's spring, summer, autumn, and winter are directly comparable. This approach is especially important for climate research, where even small inconsistencies can lead to big misunderstandings. With meteorological seasons, researchers can track everything from average temperatures to extreme weather events, building a clearer picture of our planet's changing climate. That's why, every year, weather forecasters confidently announce the arrival of spring on March 1st. They rely on this reliable, fixed system to communicate with the public and to keep their records straight. For the rest of us, meteorological spring is more than just a technicality. It gives everyone an early reason to look forward to longer days, warmer weather, and the first signs of nature's renewal. It's a reminder that, even if the snow hasn't melted yet, spring has officially begun in the world of weather. As the days gradually grow longer and the air begins to warm, people everywhere start to shake off the winter blues. Parks fill with joggers, gardeners prepare their plots, and children splash in the first spring puddles, all thanks to the promise of meteorological spring. Meteorological spring is the official starting pistol for the season of renewal, at least in the world of weather. It marks the moment when scientists, forecasters, and everyday people alike can start counting down to summer. In the end, it's all about clarity and consistency, a system that brings order to the natural world and helps us all look forward to brighter days ahead. Now let's look at astronomical spring, the one marked on most calendars. It begins with the vernal equinox, when the sun shines directly on the equator and day and night are nearly equal. In 2026, that's March 20th. After the equinox, days get longer and warmer in the northern hemisphere. The date shifts slightly each year because Earth's orbit isn't exactly 365 days, hence leap years. Without leap years, spring would drift later and later. Astronomical spring is a true turning point in Earth's journey around the sun. It's a natural phenomenon celebrated by cultures for thousands of years. While meteorological spring is a human-made system, astronomical spring is dictated by the cosmos. It's nature's official announcement that winter is over. Why do we need two systems? It's all about consistency. Astronomical seasons vary in length because Earth's orbit isn't a perfect circle. Spring can be anywhere from 89 to 93 days long. That's a headache for scientists comparing climate data over time. Meteorological seasons fix this by making each season exactly 3 months. Now every spring is the same length, no surprises. This standardization allows for accurate, apples-to-apples comparisons year after year. It's like having a sports season with the same number of games every year, fair and reliable. Meteorological seasons revolutionize climate science by making data consistent. Consistency is vital for weather and climate science. Meteorologists need data sets that line up perfectly to spot trends and make forecasts. With meteorological spring, they can compare March through May every year, simple and reliable. Astronomical spring shifting dates would make calculations messy and less accurate. This method is also crucial for agriculture and planning. Farmers rely on these forecasts to make decisions. Meteorological seasons remove ambiguity, making science precise and communication clear. When you hear about seasonal droughts or energy demand, everyone knows exactly which months are being discussed. It's a simple system that brings clarity to a complex field. March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb, a classic spring proverb. It means March starts wild and stormy, then ends calm and gentle. There's real meteorological sense here. Early March is often turbulent, with winter still hanging on. The jet stream brings storms and cold air. The lion. As the month goes on, the sun's energy increases, warming the land and calming the weather. By late March, high-pressure systems bring milder days. The lamb. The proverb captures the typical shift from winter to spring. Of course, it's not a guarantee. Sometimes March flips the script. But it's a great example of how people observe seasonal patterns long before modern science. Folklore often has a scientific core. Every spring, you'll hear the myth that you can only balance an egg on its end during the vernal equinox. Fun tradition, but scientifically, it's just a myth. You can balance an egg any day of the year if you're patient enough. The sun's gravity doesn't suddenly help you on the equinox. It's all about finding the right spot on the egg's bumpy shell and having a steady hand. The myth sticks around because people only try it on the equinox and remember their success. It's a classic case of confirmation bias. The real magic of the equinox is the change in daylight and the start of a new season, not egg tricks. It's a fun reminder to test ideas and think critically. Every year, as winter fades and the first hints of warmth return, a familiar debate blooms alongside the flowers. When does spring truly begin? This simple question sparks friendly discussions among friends, families, and even strangers, each with their own answer and reasoning out. The two main start dates for spring, meteorological and astronomical, give us plenty to talk about, and sometimes, to playfully disagree over. For some, spring officially arrives on March 1st, marking the start of meteorological spring. This date is easy to remember and lines up neatly with the calendar months, making it a favorite for planners and those who like things tidy. Others, however, prefer to wait for the equinox when day and night are nearly equal, and the sun crosses the celestial equator. This astronomical event usually falls around March 20th or 21st, and feels more connected to the rhythms of nature and the cosmos. This duality shapes our expectations and experiences. Some people are caught off guard by a late snowfall or chilly winds, wondering why spring feels so cold. Others, expecting winter to linger, are pleasantly surprised by early blossoms or a sudden, warm breeze. The way we define spring can color our moods, our plans, and even our wardrobes. Meteorological spring appeals to those who love order, predictability, and planning ahead. Gardeners might start sowing seeds as soon as March arrives, eager to get a jump on the season. Teachers and students may use the date to mark new beginnings in the classroom, while event planners schedule spring festivals and outdoor gatherings. Astronomical spring, on the other hand, connects us to something larger, the ancient rhythms of the earth and sky. For those who love to stargaze or follow celestial events, the equinox is a moment of wonder and celebration. It's a reminder that our lives are intertwined with the movements of the planets and the changing light. Neither definition is better or worse. They simply reflect different ways of relating to the world around us. Some of us find comfort in the regularity of the calendar, while others are inspired by the mysteries of the universe. Both perspectives add richness to our conversations and our celebrations. In fact, having two ways to mark the start of spring gives us more to talk about, more to notice, and more to appreciate. It's a chance to share stories, compare traditions, and enjoy the beauty of the season from different angles. We get to celebrate spring not just once, but twice. First, with the forecasters and meteorologists, and again with the astronomers and sky watchers. Each celebration brings its own excitement, whether it's the promise of warmer days or the magic of a perfectly balanced day and night. So, the next time someone asks you when spring begins, you can smile and say that both answers are right. It all depends on your perspective, your traditions, and what you're looking forward to most. Whether you're guided by the calendar or the stars, spring is a season of renewal, hope, and connection. A time to celebrate in your own way, and to share the joy with those around you. Whether you mark March 1st or the equinox, both dates lead to spring's arrival. Meteorological spring is practical and precise. Astronomical spring is cosmic and poetic. Meteorologists need their system for tracking climate and making forecasts. Astronomical seasons connect us to history and the universe. You can celebrate either, or both. Both dates are just markers. The real arrival of spring is something you feel. It's the warmth, the bird song, the green shoots, whenever they come for you. Science gives us definitions, but spring is ultimately a personal experience.